Where do we start? Where do we start? I think we have to start with this. We have to start with a question. Was that the most embarrassing loss in Lakers franchise history? And I think that's an overreaction because I remember losses that came in seasons where they got less than 20 wins. So I think that's an overreaction. Is this the most embarrassing playoff loss in a singular game in Laker franchise history? No, because I also remember a particular Game 6 back in 2008 that was pretty embarrassing. But is this the most embarrassing playoff series loss in Laker franchise history? And I think the answer to that is a definitive absolutely. Absolutely. Because I understand the expectations that many people have of this team. Is looking back, this is a 7 seed. And it's a great story of going from 2-10 to the Western Conference Finals. But the optics of how you have to look at this team is that you have two, not one, two of the best players in the league on your team. You have two of the best players in the entire world playing together for your team. And you can't win a game. You can't win a game against the Denver Nuggets when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing together on the same team. You have to do more than what they have done, because this is not just a culmination of this year, this playoff loss. This is this entire run late in LeBron's career here with Anthony Davis on the Lakers. When you look back, the expectation as soon as Anthony Davis got to Los Angeles was championship aspirations. And you got that in your first year. You got that. And I understand injuries derailed the second season, but then front office mistakes cost you about a year and a half after that. They managed to save it this season with the trades that were made at the deadline, sure. But in what is it now, 4 years with Anthony Davis and LeBron James paired together, one championship, as far as I'm concerned, is not enough. It is not enough. Especially when you look at the landscape of the league right now. And I understand this is a 7 seed. How high could the expectations be if this is a 7 seed? But you look at the landscape of the league, this is the only team in the entire league out of 30 teams. This one team, the Los Angeles Lakers, is the only team with two definitive, or at least arguable, even arguable, top 10 players playing together on their team. There are some great duos around this league. There are. No disrespect to those guys, to Joel Embiid and James Harden, but only one of those guys is in the top 10. That would be Mr. Joel Embiid. The new duo down in Phoenix, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. That's a great duo, but only one of them is definitively in the top 10 of basketball players around the league. That would be Kevin Durant. I think Devin Booker is a little closer than James Harden is, but I still think both of them are outside of that. When Anthony Davis is healthy, we all know he is a top 10 minimum top 10 player. And LeBron James certainly is still in there. I don't care if he's 45, 50, however old he may be right now. He is still, the way he has played, still in there. So when you have that look, that lens on this team and you look at it from that perspective, one championship in 4 seasons is not good enough from this franchise. And I understand the Russell Westbrook trade set you back, whether that was the decision of Rob Pelinka or ownership or LeBron James himself, we are still not sure, but whoever's decision it was set this franchise back. So when it looked like at the trade deadline they had saved their season, saved this era of LeBron James's career here in Los Angeles with the trades for Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, all these helpful contributors to this playoff run. Jared Vanderbilt, lest I forget. My apologies. Someone who could not be played in this series. My apologies. When it looked like they had saved their season just for them to fall well short. Maybe you don't expect a 7 seed, a team that started 2-10, had a 0.3%, whatever percent chance it was to make the playoffs, to make it to the Western Conference Finals. Through that lens, this is a success. But through the lens of this is LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing together. This is LeBron James's possible last chance at a title. A sweep in the Western Conference Finals is not enough. It is not. It was the same thing every single game. It was competitive. It was close. But there was a run that the Lakers could not stop at some point in the second half. Whether it was the third quarter or the fourth quarter, there was some Nuggets run that would go like 15-2, 10-0 run. And that would be the difference in the game. And it felt like that every single game. And that is what I could have predicted. Maybe not a sweep, but the difference in the coaching is what I could have predicted. It is what I predicted at the beginning of these playoffs was going to cost the Lakers, and it did. And it did. Why Frank Vogel is still not the coach of this team, I'm not sure. Darvin Ham seems like a great guy, a great person, but I'm not sure he was ready for this job and the high pressure that comes with coaching LeBron James in the late tenure of his career. Some of the decisions that this franchise makes, whoever makes them, we're still not sure, is very confusing to me. What is also very confusing to me is... Whoops. Okay, well, I dropped one of them. I'm not picking the other one up. What is also very confusing to me is... When is Anthony Davis going to become the guy? King James, you told us it would be his team eventually, right? And I understand the season it was supposed to happen was after the championship run. After the title in 2020, it was supposed to be Anthony Davis's team. He showed flashes in that bubble that it could be his. The injuries derailed that season and kind of the season after that too. But now, this season, 3 years removed, LeBron James is 3 years older. Why is Anthony Davis still not the guy? Why has AD not been able to be the best player on this team when we thought he might be able to be the best player in this league just a few short seasons ago? We thought he had that potential. Where is that? I don't know. Every time you get a hint of it being possible that he could be the guy, this is the breakout game. This is the time he takes over. Every time, it's just one game. It's a falsity. It's a mirage. because the next game he will go for 12 points on 12 shots, getting half of his points from the free throw line, missing layups. And that is the part that truly confounds me about this team, is that if the plan had gone the way it was supposed to, you had stuck to the plan, not gone this Russell Westbrook road that they decided to go for, if you had stuck with what had already worked, maybe Anthony Davis is the guy. I don't know. Maybe if injuries don't happen, Anthony Davis is the guy. I don't know. But at some point, he needed this season to become the guy. And in a game 4, it is 40-year-old LeBron James in his 20th year, in his 20th season, having to carry the team like he always has. Even though it is clear he has lost a step, that's to be expected. That is to be expected. But Anthony Davis, you are in your prime, sir. You are in your prime. By this point in the series, by game 3, halfway through this series that we thought would last a lot longer than 4 games, you're not even being asked to guard Nikola Jokic. Sure, you're asking him to hover in the paint to make sure he doesn't dominate down low. But it's Rui Hachimura that's matched up with Nikola Jokic. Where is the offensive production? There were a lot of disappointments with this team in this series, D'Angelo Russell being one of them. I always have love for my Lakers young core as a Laker fan. I rooted for them when they were on different teams. D'Angelo Russell in Brooklyn, Brandon Ingram still in New Orleans, Lonzo Ball, I hope he comes back from his injury, because the man can play. The man can play. Even Josh Hart, now in New York. Been with many teams, a very tough player. I like him a lot. I root for them when they left. And now D'Angelo Russell, my dreams came true when he came back. But he could not produce anything offensively this series. I didn't expect him to be Jamal Murray and contend with him, but he did not produce a thing. A thing. Dennis Schroeder could not guard Jamal Murray. It felt like no point guards were even playable by game 4. Although you have to play one, right? Rui Hachimura did his best on Nikola Jokic, had some good scoring games. Lonnie Walker didn't really have that Lonnie Walker game that he had against the Warriors. Austin Reeves was good. Not amazing, but very good, very solid. And the rest was a bunch of not very impressive. As much as you might want to shift the blame to guys like D'Angelo Russell in the playoffs, the responsibility lands on the superstars. I know LeBron James is old. I understand. I understand Anthony Davis. I don't know. Honestly, I don't understand with Anthony Davis, to be clear, to be honest. The responsibility is on them. This loss is on them. And Darvin Ham, the coach. I will not let it slide on him. And whoever decided to let Kentavious Caldwell-Pope go. I believe he was part of the Russell Westbrook trade. Whoever's decision that was damning to this team, as obviously he could not miss from the three-point line in this series for the Denver Nuggets, although I wish he was still in Los Angeles with the Lakers, as he should be. There are many questions you might have. LeBron is questioning himself, wondering if he should retire. While I still think he's one of the best 20 players in this league, probably still one of the 10 best, but I'm looking forward to next season, maybe 20 best. He can still play, but does he want to? Because we turn around and we look at this season and we say, King James, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. And this argument against Michael Jordan, let's be real, LeBron James has passed him and should have easily in his career made it clear he was the best player. And some were certainly never going to give it to him no matter what he did. But there were things that he could have done, like win this series, to make it undeniable. But Anthony Davis needed to help him do that. And he just was not. He is supposed to be a generational defender. One of the best defenders the league has ever seen is what he was supposed to be, and get no defensive players of the years to show for it. An incredibly versatile offensive force, yet every other game seems to put up less than 15 points. Unless he shoots 15 free throws. Where do you go if you're the Lakers now? Where do you go? I've heard rumors of Trae Young. I've heard rumors of Kyrie Irving. I think both of those moves are not good ideas. I really do not believe either of those will be good. Should LeBron James retire? I don't know. If Damian Lillard should become available, I guess go for him, but you don't have the assets. Let's be honest, you don't. Who do you have the assets for? I don't know. Certainly not enough for what you need should LeBron James retire. Because Anthony Davis has showed he is not the guy. He has showed that over and over and over. Is that because LeBron James is in his way, or is that because Anthony Davis is not capable? I don't know. Sure, certain players all need something. LeBron James needed shooters around him, which is why it made no sense why they traded for Russell Westbrook. I'm going to stop mentioning it. That'll be the last time, I promise. Maybe. Anthony Davis needs a passer to facilitate to him. Who should that be? I'm not sure. But there are great passers around this league. You're not going to get a Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers who's turned into a superstar, but you can get a good passer to help him out. But what are you going to do when he puts up 12 points in a playoff game? What is the team to do when he is the one the team is relying on, not LeBron James? Because that was supposed to happen 3 years ago. What is the plan for a team in a 7-game series, maybe with their back against the wall, when Anthony Davis doesn't show up? Do we really think a top 5 player in this league should be someone that needs a passer to pass him the ball, a playmaker, and also needs a scorer just in case he doesn't show up? I think you should be more capable. Because, and what is so frustrating is that he is capable. He is capable. Because we've seen it. We've seen how he can play. And that is what's so frustrating when he doesn't play to that level. To the level of the best player in the league, which he can be if he was just more consistent. Where the team goes, I don't know. That was painful, though. And I don't want to go through that again. That sweep against the Denver Nuggets, where it felt like every game was so tantalizingly close, so far out of reach at the same time. Where it just felt like we were outmatched in every single game, because we were. LeBron James is not getting any younger. And Anthony Davis might never get more consistent. So I don't know where this team goes. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know. There are some things they could do, but this was just a venting of a little bit of pain that I have held on to for the past couple of days that I wanted to vent about. And I also wanted to, I wanted to put on a little airs. If you couldn't tell, it's a bit of a break character right there. That was my best ESPN analyst, almost Stephen A-esque impression. Because I am frustrated, I am upset, but that was my monologue of this Laker loss. Truly, I'm not incredibly upset with Anthony Davis. I am frustrated, but at the same time, I understand it's hard to get the keys to the team when you're playing with the best player of all time, even if LeBron James isn't the best player in the league anymore. It's hard to take the keys, and it's hard for LeBron to hand them over. Anyways, that's the end of my. That's gonna be the end of my rant. And I, if I ever try out for a job on a talk show, if this YouTube thing doesn't blow up like I hope it does, and I need a regular 9 to 5, I'll make sure to use this tape as an audition. So I guess thank you, Lakers, for that. Yeah. Don't trade for Trae Young, please. I really don't think that's gonna work out well. I don't know. They do need a point guard though. We'll see. I'll support the team through whatever though. Yeah, that was painful. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye.